Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fusion Room video. This time we have Zakuro, who did Opal's Fusion Room. This one was definitely one that many people wanted to do, and since Opal is my favorite fusion, I'm definitely excited to see the process of this video.
So tell us why you decided to go with Opal.
Well, first of all, Opal is my absolute favorite, and I think she's one of the most interesting fusions, I guess, in terms of design. It's kind of sad that we don't get to see a lot of her, but I think she'd be great, especially since Pearl and Amethyst are such complex and lovely characters, and my favorite, and I don't know, just Opal.
So what traits from each gem were put into the room?
Well, I sort of looked at both of their rooms and thought of it as that as a fusion, and also about Opal as a person herself. I wanted to add Pearl's waterfall type thing, but I didn't want it to be a sort of calm type of thing that she has in her room. I wanted it to have some aspect of Amethyst, which is that sort of roughness and rushing and the way she is. So I wanted to go for a more sort of I suppose stronger current of the waterfall, where it's not just going slowly, it's sort of crashing down there, and there's like a lot of water and splash and just steam that comes with that. And I wanted to sort of make it a sort of meditating ground where it's calm in a sense, but it's also messy and just really Amethyst sort of rashness and boldness that it is, but in a calm sense, in a sort of organized messiness, if that makes any sense. I wanted to add both aspects, sort of like a yin yang thing going on.
Yeah, I love it. The waterfall is really, really cool. And I see you kind of added literally the yin yang type of thing. You had the like black and white on the sides. Really, really cool.
Yeah, since Pearl and Amethyst are pretty much polar opposites. Pearl is calm and neat, and Amethyst is just all over the place and crazy.
So tell us a little bit about the process of making this art.
The process was basically just like any other that I do for my drawings, just sort of sketch it out. I didn't really go for a line art type of feel. I think I tried to at one point, but abandoned the idea because I wanted it to feel sort of raw, I suppose, and not as neat as sometimes that it does come out with line art. I wanted to just kind of go in and feel it out, have the sketch on top, and then all my colors, and then merge that together, and then just sort of blend it and really kind of smoothen and flatten it out as I go, but still keeping that sort of still keeping the feel of the sketch, because a lot of the time the sketch is it's a lot more organic and more sort of free feeling than maybe line art or whatever, for at least like me personally, because I don't know how to make the line art feel as organic as the original sketch. For the colors, I basically based it off Opal and more Amethyst room than Pearls. I think one thing that I would have wanted to do in this room was kind of maybe add a little more clutter from Amethyst room, because as we know, Amethyst can be a bit of a slob and her room isn't the tidiest, but you know.
Just throw some trash around.
Yeah, just throw some trash, maybe a TV or something. Add like an entire wardrobe of clothes, whatever.
Yeah, Opal seems like she wouldn't really do that, although it is a very big part of Amethyst and her room.
I think that Opal would have Pearl's organized sense, but I feel like, especially since the way she is and the way she's kind of based off, sort of, I suppose, she reminds me of like a meditating type of feel thing. I feel like she'd have that organized sense of Pearl, but she would also kind of be like, doesn't want to disturb anything if it falls there. Like, that's where it was meant to be, so I'll leave it.
Interesting.
It was destiny.
So we know that, from what we've seen, that it looks like Amethyst's room doesn't really do anything special, and Pearl's just has the waterfalls and she can bring up swords. Do you think that this room can do anything special?
Maybe. I think it just be very, I suppose, floaty, kind of have that magical sense of I don't know. I'm just imagining like floating rocks and pathways that seem like they lead somewhere, but they don't actually lead anywhere. Sort of like a very mystical type of thing that you kind of just need to let you relax and your mind for it to work for you, sort of thing. Because if you're not relaxed and if you're not stable, I suppose, you can't really navigate around. It's sort of like a maze that that only allows you to go through if you can collaborate, I suppose, with it.
Yeah, I think you really captured that well, and I think that fits Opal's character a lot as well. She's very calm and collected, kind of majestic and mysterious and stuff. So just to go to you for a little bit, how long have you been doing art?
Well, I've been doing art like since I was young, of course, but I haven't really started to take it seriously since maybe I'd say 5 years ago when I was about 11, but how serious could an 11-year-old take these things? I was pretty much just being like, oh, I want to draw things, so I'll draw things. But I guess I didn't really kind of take in the theory of like colors and art and anatomy and all that stuff until I was about 12, maybe 13. So about 3 or 4 years, I'd say.
Cool.
So I know you have a DeviantArt and a YouTube channel, and so what other cartoons do you make artwork of?
I used to make a lot of artwork for Adventure Time, Gravity Falls. I'm trying to get into a bit more of Voltron, but for the moment, Steven Universe has kind of consumed everything that I do.
We know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure some people might be curious, looking at your name. How did you get your name?
Gosh. So I used to be very, very into anime, and I watched this one anime, I think by the name of Otome Yukai Zakuro or something. I'm sorry if I butchered that completely. I liked the main character, and I was like, she's cool, and I know what a kitsune is even prior to this anime, and I like that, and I like foxes. So I guess I'll just do that, and from here on out, this will be who I am and stuff.
So, since you're a big fan of Steven Universe, obviously, what are some of your favorite episodes?
My favorite episodes are Rose's Scabbard because Pearl, obviously, as some might know, I absolutely adore Pearl. Just that episode and how Pearl's emotion towards Rose and how those feelings are still there, and her confrontation with Steven about it, and just that whole ending scene where she talks about Rose and the hologram Rose and everything. And probably another of my favorite episodes would have to be another Pearl episode, Mr. Greg, because the music in that episode was absolutely stunning, and I loved It's Over from sung by Pearl. Just again, it really just kind of captures that emotion that Pearl has, and it also went into the conflict about how Greg felt and how Greg feels about this whole situation, and I loved how Steven was there to kind of be a sort of common ground between these two characters, which we don't see like them interact a lot. Like we see them every now and then, but it's nothing serious. They're not really talking. They're just kind of standing around, for a lack of words, I suppose. As far as any other episodes go, I think when Lapis and Steven go, or when they go to search for like a new home, because I think that message is really good. It's like, even if you're not home, you can kind of make a home. Like it doesn't have to be like what you're used to or whatever. You can explore, you can reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah,
those are all really, really great episodes. So you mentioned earlier you have a DeviantArt, you have a YouTube. We'll put that on the screen now. Anywhere else people can find you?
I have a Tumblr which I recently opened. That's just got a few of my artwork from my YouTube and stuff, and I have a Twitter which I rarely use, but besides that, no.
So, do you do commissions?
As far as commissions are concerned, for the moment, I don't actually, since where I am, PayPal doesn't work.
That's a shame.
It baffles me. You can pay, but you can't receive, and I'm like, okay.
Wow.
But commissions for the moment are postponed, I suppose. I'm not doing them until I can kind of find an alternative, or yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Well, everybody check out our work. Hopefully, in the near future, she'll be able to figure out how to take commissions.
Hopefully. Or maybe PayPal will be a blessing and grant us the ability to take money.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay.
Hopefully. Oh.
So, thank you, Zakuro, for joining us here and drawing the Fusion Room for Opal. If anyone watching, if you are a artist that is good at drawing backgrounds, we are still taking people for other rooms, not just Fusion Rooms, for the future. And definitely, if you have a YouTube channel, this is a really cool opportunity for you, just like Zakuro does. So, thanks for watching.
Peace.